This is my 600 horsepower BMW M3 Club Sport. It's supercharged, race harnesses, roll cage, and a rooftop tent to top it all off. It was once my daily driver. Ayo! Ayo! But I decided to completely tear it apart and make it the ultimate track machine.
My car, it's all torn apart. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna come for you Porsche boys. This is what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Make this thing fast as f. Here are the rules. For the entire cross-country road trip, I can only use one set of tires. We've got Pilot Sport Cup 2s for the entire trip. Shout out to Michelin for supplying me with these tires. These are gonna tell a crazy story.
Rule number 2, for each of the 7 racetracks that we drive on, I have to beat a set target lap time. The tracks we're gonna go to are Willow Springs International Raceway, Chuckwalla Valley Speedway, Laguna Seca International Raceway, Circuit of the Americas, where Formula 1 races, Road Atlanta, Sebring International Raceway, and Homestead Miami.
Rule number 3, I have only 25 days to complete the entire challenge. From LA to Miami, 7 tracks, these tires, Cup 2s, yeah.
So when do we call the tow truck?
We're at Willow Springs International Raceway, and this is the first racetrack of the challenge. We're about an hour north of Los Angeles. This is the first track of the challenge. It's the fastest road in the West. You guys might have seen this track in the movie Ford versus Ferrari, whenever Matt Damon's character, Carroll Shelby, was swinging his wrench at the car in the beginning of the movie. Yes. Happy Bill! Today we have to beat a lap time goal of 1 minute and 30 seconds. If I'm 1 minute and 30 seconds, 0.1, we fail the track challenge.
To give you an idea about a minute 30-second lap, an Audi R8 V10 Spider, a whole supercar, is doing a minute 29.72 around the track.
So we got a couple things we got to look out for at this track. We got turn 2, we got turn 8. Turn 2 is a really tight 95, 90 mile an hour sweeper that a lot of people crash at. Turn 8, fastest turn, one of the most dangerous turns in motorsport ever. It's the sweeper. The sweeper, it's about 140 mile an hour turn, and you're cranking it right.
It's finally time to suit up and get on track. Are we going to beat that 1 minute 30-second target lap time, or are we going to have to move on having failed today's challenge? I'm only going to give myself one warm-up lap to get my tires and my brake pads up to temperature. If I can't do it in that one lap, it doesn't matter. I still have to go for the attempt. I'm also taking my friend Opto on his first track lap ever, so it's going to be a mini challenge for me to scare the living crap out of him. Let's see if I can do it. So coming out of turn 9 at Big Willow, I'm trying to be as fast as possible so I can cross the finish and start line going at the highest possible speed. Speaking of highest possible speed, if I break any of my 3 challenge rules, I have to give away a massive cash prize to one of you. I glanced over at Opto and he was looking a little nervous, so let's see if he holds up. For every 10 views this series accumulates over the next 25 videos, I'm donating 1 cent to a pot that starts at $1,000. So theoretically, if this series gets 1 billion views, someone's winning $1 million. I'm not joking. Now we approach turn 2. This is the turn that's gonna wear down my front left tire the absolute most. I have to be very careful, trying to carry the most amount of speed, but also being cognizant of my tire wear. All you gotta do to enter is like, comment on every video, and subscribe to this channel. Screenshot proof to my Instagram at MrCarSounds and follow the Instagram as well. Have fun, because one of you can actually become a millionaire after this. We can see the Porsche GT3 behind me slowly gaining on me. I'm doing my absolute best to keep him behind me. Let's see if I can keep it up. As I approach turn 5, you can see that I hit almost 1.5 lateral G-forces as I slam on the brakes and get into turn 6. Approaching turn 7 and 8, I am flat out, foot to the floor. We're doing about 145 miles an hour at the peak of the turn, and Opto is freaking out.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
As I approach the final corner, I'm trying to carry as much speed so my exit can be super fast. This is the final push on the main straight. We're about to cross the finish line. Let's see what happens. I failed. And Ed passed me. So yeah, let's talk about it. Coming out of turn 9 and going into turn 1, I actually had a decent amount of speed. The problem was I slowed down way too early, and because of that, I was way too slow on the exit of the turn, so I lost time there. Moving into turn 2, I was so concerned about my tire wear in the front, I didn't really notice my line that I was taking. It was a horrible driving line, and I wasn't carrying enough speed into the turn. Going into turn 3 and 4, you can notice on this clip, I misshifted. You hear that RPM spike? Yeah, that's because I clicked that downshift button when I wasn't supposed to. So I lost a second and a half there. We could have been at a minute 31 had I just kept driving in the same gear. And to top it all off, on the warm-up lap, I was pretty distracted, so I didn't warm up my brakes properly. Moving forward, if I keep this trajectory, we are not making any progress. I'm not beating any lap time, so I need to focus on my driving a little better. But overall, it was a good experience to understand kind of the conditions that I'm going to be driving on for the rest of this trip. Let's move on. After Willow Springs, we went back home so I could freshen up, change, wash my face, and stare at my chapped lips. I also remembered that I have boxing shoes which are very similar to driving shoes because the bottoms are flat, so it'll simulate very good feel with the gas and the brake pedal. Oh, and if you guys haven't seen already, this is the new BeLoud LapTime Express merch. You got the brown suede hat, nice navy shirt. Check it out, shopbeloud.com when you get a chance. Now it's time to pick up my childhood best friend Armen so he can join us for the next track event, but guess what? There's a bunch of traffic.
I actually cannot wait to get the hell out of this stupid state. This traffic's ridiculous. I've been stopped here for an hour. What's up, fool?
What's up?
Welcome to the lure machine.
Thank you, sir.
Sheesh. You good?
I'm good.
Jess is on the walkie.
How's it going, boys?
So we got Armen watching the telemetry on the Garmin. What do you think of this? It's sick, huh?
No, this thing's nuts. There's so much data.
While
here.
Armen was playing with the Garmin and we sat through hours of traffic, we were getting to our second pit stop, which was super sick.
Well, here's the surprise for part 2 of this video. We're going go-karting, baby. Right before we go to Chuckwalla, let's get some laps in.
Time to suit up again. Let's see if these boxing shoes are actually going to help me drive. Also, this is a pretty nice facility. Looks like we can get some good driving in. The track looks nice, good altitude changes and stuff. Let's get in the carts and let's do some driving.
Let's buggy.
Immediately right off the bat, what I noticed first is these carts were heavy. Second of all, I was having a little bit of a hard time balancing the rear end of the cart. It was rotating very well, especially from that weight transfer. But as I did more and more laps, I was getting the hang of it. You'll also notice I'm wearing a wrist cam. I'm flipping it back and forth. And there's a couple cool sections on this drive where I overtake a bunch of people. So you can see that I'm having a really good time there. But this was my first time karting outdoors with the electric carts. To be honest, I liked it. This was a really good pit stop idea before Chuckwalla. There was a point on track where I was battling about 2 to 3 people. We were going back and forth, trading places. I noticed the fastest part of the track for me was turn 3. I could be flat out and not everybody was doing that. So I was picking up pace and passing a lot of people on that turn. That kept me in front of the big group and I was able to catch up to a lot more people in the front of the pack. At one point, Armen hit a curb on the track and his action cam flew off of his helmet and ended up in the dirt.
Well, there's the aftermath of that.
He also broke his glasses. But let's get back to his laps. Low-key Armen needs to do some improving on his driving because I passed him like 15 times on the track.
Hey, shut the
All right, now that that's done, let's go to Chuckwalla. Camping in the tent on top of the M3 at Chuckwalla Raceway. The track is right here. We got the M3 with the tent. What? Okay. Night night.